Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, it's another episode of the 6-1 Football Show. And you know, after the record-breaking numbers of watching the last championship 6-1 Football Show, in that 7 people tuned in, which was record-breaking for us, that it was like, wow, we've got to do another one.
We're going to go for 8 this time.
Exactly. It's a big mountain to climb, John, but I like it. I like your enthusiasm. Now, we've got a slightly more intimate show today, because there's only 3 of us, and as you can see, the screen's looking slightly different, okay? So, if you're in the mood for some love, and some championship, and some really good times, then you're in the right place. It's 61 Football Show on FTV Sports.
Never give up on us. Now we're on the road to Europe. Right now, all our dreams can be made. I will be kings of football again. England!
What a dude.
Great intro, and you made the intro. So
What a tune!
if anyone was thinking it wasn't official, well, Tom Mercer's in the video, so you know, and we had to pay a lot of money for Tom to be in that video. As you can see in his new digs with the Gascoigne shirt in the background, is very professional of you, Tom. And welcome to the show, Tom Mercer. How are you doing today?
I'm tip-top, Ollie. Tip-top.
Yeah, and welcome to the show, John, as well. How are you feeling today? You good?
Yeah, really good. Lot more relaxed than last time we spoke, I think. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Great, like so. It's gonna...
Podcast veteran now, mate.
Exactly. Two on a trot.
Second show, love it. Okay, so we're going to do what we regularly do on the show, and we're going to check in with your clubs, okay? Obviously, we were on 2 weeks ago, so we're going to review kind of what's happened. I think we're going to start with you, Tom. What I like about you is that I asked you if you'd be on the show, I think on Friday, and you said, can I give you the answer after Saturday? So I was keeping an eye on the score, and obviously it was a good result for you. But let's rewind to the Luton game. So I think you predicted it to be 2-1. How did you see the Luton game? How was it for you?
Trying to save face, I think, is probably the best way to put it. We were schooled, basically. I feel like it's just disappointing because you get your hopes up, and I come on the podcast. I was, we're unbeaten run at the time. I was like, yes, get in. And Ollie was here, the Hatters fan, the Mad Hatters fan, and to lose 2-0 at home to Luton really hurt, to be honest, Ollie. And there was question marks, if I could come back onto the podcast. But then we've got 2 good results in the back of it. So you can look at it and think, okay, but it's the championship, right? So, we lose 1 to Luton. We've won 4 out of 5. We've beaten Sheffield United with a last minute winner. And you should check that goal out. Jake Cooper, centre back, outside of the box, scores an absolute beautiful goal. And then we got battered in the first half against Stoke, 1-0 down at half time. Come back with Tom Bradshaw, who's, he's not prolific at all. And he nicks 2 goals, 2 tap-ins, but 2 beautiful tap-ins, well-worked tap-ins. And then, we're level on points with a 6th or 5th place at the minute. So we're essentially in the playoffs. We're in the hunt. So it's the championship. As you said, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. And did you go to the Luton game like you said you would, or did you?
No, unfortunately, I didn't go in the end. What was the reason? I had a friend's birthday which I completely missed. He made me feel bad. He made me feel guilty. Do you know what? In hindsight, beautiful decision.
Yes, because the irony of is, and I'm sure Ollie's going to watch this, Ollie Yates, is he moaned about the £30 ticket price. And he did end up going, as I got a play-by-play, photo-by-photo. And I think the quote from Ollie was, best £30 I've ever spent, which is quite amusing. So on to the Stoke game. Both were at home as well, so you had 2 in a row. What changed against Stoke?
Well, we had Sheffield United in between as well. So
Yeah, right, so sorry, I didn't even know that. I thought,
lost home to Luton. Midweek, the Championship. You got a game.
So many games.
I know, too many games. Too many games to catch up on, Ollie. I get it. It's okay. So
we'll rewind again. So what happened? What changed against Stoke?
Do you know what it was? Gary Rowett changed the formation at half time against Stoke. So we were battered the first half, to be fair, outplayed. Changed a bit of a 4-4-2. And then, we worked it pretty well. We got, Shea Yojo, good little player who we got on loan from Liverpool. He's been on loan. He's been in the Championship a couple of years. I think we just worked it well. And I think the thing is if we can learn to be a bit more adaptable in those situations, I think we've got a good chance this season. The thing is we normally play 5 at the back. So when you have three centre backs, it can be quite depressing to watch trying to move forward. So I think when we've got versatility, we can mix it up and we can move to a 4-4-2 or 4-3-3, like we did against Stoke, turned it around. So I'm here for. I'm on Gary Rowett's. I'm singing his praises this week.
He's becoming a bit of a tactical genius. Did he change the formation for the Sheffield United game as well?
Well, I wasn't planning. I didn't watch the whole game, if I'm being honest. The thing is, we don't actually get to watch all of the games when you're in the Championship. Unfortunately, it's not Arsenal, so I can only go on what was reported. But that was more of a valiant effort.
I see. Fair enough. But then you were saying, I'll let you know after the weekend. You'd already beaten Sheffield United. I don't see what the problem was.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Happy days. Okay,
Happy
John.
days, mate. Back-to-back wins against some quality teams. Who cares?
That's it. Take that all day. 6 of one, half dozen the other. That's what I would say. So, John, you were a bit annoyed last time we were on because you'd had a few negative results. But I'm reading here on the 16th of October, you easily swept aside QPR 4-1. How was that game for you?
It was good. They I think I said at the time, we started the season well. We had a bit of a wobble, and I think I was getting a bit apprehensive. We got quite a good result. We've got quite a good record against QPR generally, so I was quite hopeful. I think we went 1-0 up, and then we sort of let them back in, which was a bit disconcerting because we've kind of had a habit of doing that, and then we've sort of gone to pieces in the second half a couple of times this season. But they kind of they sort of threw caution to the wind. Really, they kind of stuck on a load of attacking players, and it kind of backfired for them. So in the end, it was kind of like being a bit of a cruise. So that was 4-1, and then after that, we obviously we played Cardiff at home and beat them 2. Unfortunately, well. I was going to go to that game. Originally, it was for the Tuesday, but I'd got tickets for the club next door for work because I had to take some clients out. Ooh. And then after I got the tickets, they blew the change.
Who was that club for anyone who?
We're not going to mention the name.
But you brought it up on the podcast, mate. Yeah. I'd be steering well clear of that. No, Chelsea.
Not even worse.
So no, disappointing. So I missed that one. Which is
like you.
Well, I can barely look at myself in the mirror in the morning. So that was a bit of a shame. Missed that one. And also we got a really good result against Nottingham Forest at the weekend, 4-0. So I suppose. It was one of those games where we didn't play particularly well, but we didn't look like we necessarily needed to kind of step up a gear, really. So that's quite pleasing. I've actually got a pop quiz for you as well. So when do you think the last time we won 4-0 away from home was, and who was it against?
It's not Arsenal, is it?
Well, the answer's very close to home at the moment.
Chelsea.
It's Millwall.
It was so not that close to home. No, it was against. It was put it this way: Millwall lost to them. So it was against Luton in '99. So it's been over 20 years.
Go. Ollie really is missing.
There you
Ollie.
go. We need the stats. The stat man right here. Love it.
Absolutely.
That's why he's on. That's why he's on the show.
So yeah. So a lot.
I'm looking at well, to be fair. Disappointing day.
So yeah, I suppose a lot happier than last time we spoke, Ollie. So I think things are sort of back on track now, hopefully.
Tell me about it. I thought there was only 2 games. The third one just popped in there. I was like, "Oh, geez,
championship, isn't it? It's like loads of fixtures.
Anything can happen, Ollie. Anything can happen. It's the championship.
Anything can happen. It's a topsy-turvy league, and good. Well, all happy by all accounts, you know. This next section is called Let's Talk Strikers. So I did a little research. You know, searched the top goal scorers on BBC and pulled a few out the hat.
Other
a few of yours.
Other sources are available. You've got to say that, Ollie.
Yeah. Well, the BBC, they're pretty
Mate,
odds on.
When we're pushing 1,000, when we're pushing like millions of viewers, you know, you've got to start. Yeah, I've got to start unbranding this.
Yeah, it's true. Right now. It's true. I think that's why we haven't got the viewers today, because the stats just are not there. So we'll start with you, John. Mitrovic, obviously, he's the Fulham striker. He's joint top goal scorer at the moment. How are you feeling about him this season?
Well, he's kind of. I think he's his kind of record at the moment is kind of speaking for itself, isn't it? Really, was it 15, and the next highest is 10, which is just phenomenal. It's like at this level, he seems to be, you know, unstoppable, really. So I was actually looking. I think the is it the most goals scored in Championship in a single season? Is it 31? Is that by Lee Hughes? I'd looked during the week. So the way he's going, you know, he's kind of every game is kind of beating that. So
you think he will get 32 goals?
I don't know. It might be pushing it a bit, but I think he's he can't seem to stop scoring at the moment.
He's halfway there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Who's the top? Who's got 31 goals? Who was that?
Let me have a look.
Lee Hendry, did you say? Lee Hendry.
Is it Lee Hendry?
Lee Hendry from midfield, mate. Come on.
I'm just going by what John said.
Hang on, my computer's locked.
Darren Huckabee.
What a player. The thing
Darren Huckabee, Norwich legend.
He was good. He was good in the Championship, no?
He was class. I remember him playing for Coventry, tearing up Milwall.
Yeah, no, it was Lee Hughes with 31 goals.
Lee Hughes.
So there you go. So like you say, he's only halfway. He's halfway there. And what are we about third through the season?
Who did he play for at the time?
That is a good question.
Is that not on there?
Hang on a minute.
Hope you're not on BBC Sport. It's not the only reference.
Other sports services are available.
Santanta.
Oh God.
Lee Hughes, West Brom 98-99. So there you go.
98-99.
And they only finished mid-table as well. So I
was going to say, did they go up? And they didn't even go up.
They did not. So yeah, no, it's exciting. I think he's also quite interestingly when I think he's been coming off the bench for Serbia recently, and he used to always be
does love a goal for Serbia.
Well, he does, but I think there's an up and coming chap. Sorry, say again.
Highest goal scorer for Serbia as well.
Yeah, he is. He's our best striker sort of ever by a long sort of.
Can you name me another really good Serbian player?
No, but they've got an up and coming chap who's challenging.
Yeah,
and he's beginning to start.
Vidic was Serbian, wasn't he?
There we go. They all play for Man United. Best Serbian footballers, as by Google.
Google doesn't lie.
Alexander Kolarov. Nemanja Vidic, well done, Tom. Matic, well done. Dusan Tadic. There we go.
They all end the same, don't they?
Yeah. Dejan Stankovic.
Stankovic, he was a good Stojkovic, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's actually quite a few.
But he hasn't been necessarily starting and getting as knackered as he was in international fixtures. So I think it's kind of freed him up to kind of be a bit more prolific for us, hopefully. Possibly. Well, it was almost the other way around before, but we'll see.
He's showing the form, and sorry to all the millions of Serbian viewers right now. There are actually lots of great Serbian players. So, leave it in the comments. I hope I haven't offended anyone.
You've just alienated half your audience. No
one's watching it at the moment.
International.
The 7. We're never going to beat the 7. All right, let's go on to. Actually, also, what do you think of Mitrovic, Tom Mercer?
Thank you. Only because I was about to say is I've seen Mitrovic. He thrives against playing against Milwall because he gets loads of shit from the crowd and he loves it. And he's literally, I've seen him there on the bench before, literally just cheering all the fans, coming up to the Milwall fans and giving loads of shit. And I respect that, but also fucking hate him. So I'm wearing quiet tonight and I don't care. But basically, I just think fundamentally he's a fantastic championship striker, and he gets the Premier League, and he had that half a good season 2 or 3 years ago when the first half he banged in 8 or 9 goals, and I thought this is he deserves. And it's like at Newcastle, he can never make the step up, and there's so many strikers that have done that, and I think he looks literally a class above, like Pukki, literally same class above, always. That he's always a yard ahead, always just thinking, listen, he gets to the Premier League and he just never be able to make the step up. And unfortunately, I think Mitrovic, as much as a great championship striker, he's better than the championship. But he's never going to be, that next level up. And that is brilliant. And he'll probably score a hat-trick against Milwall. About 5 or 6 against Millwall later in the season. But that's just my opinion. Fantastic.
I wouldn't disagree on what's happened so far because he hasn't made it in the Prem. But I will say he didn't have a service last season. He didn't get played much last season.
Yeah.
And I'm always hopeful that if we do go up, it might all click for him. I think he deserves it because he's been a really good servant for the club, and in the past, it would have been here 5 years.
Serbian for the club.
Just Serbian for the club. So yeah, fingers crossed. You never know.
Some would say he's in that murky mire in between the Championship and the Premier League. And if he can get himself through that bog, maybe he'll be on the other side in the grass, beautiful fields. I don't know what I'm going on about. Doesn't matter.
You like okay. A poet.
Yeah. Or just someone who's full of absolute crap. But that's why I've got my own show, guys. That's what they pay me for. Cool. So we're going to move on. I had to do a Millwall player. He was on the list.
Why did you have to do a Millwall player? Why
because you're on the show and it's entertaining. So Wallace, tell me about Wallace, Tom Mercer.
Wallace. I mean, he's not really a striker, though, is he?
Is he a winger?
Yeah, he's a winger / striker / all-round top guy /
He's in the top 10 goal scorers in the Championship.
He's in the top. And if
Jack of all trades.
So we'll call him a striker.
But did you watch his goal? You probably didn't watch the Sheffield United game because apparently you don't care about the Championship, but you're running this podcast.
I do care. I've got the show.
Not saying you don't, mate. So did you see his great goal?
I did.
Against Sheffield United last week. So basically, he picks it up on the right wing. It's a lot of interplay, right? And he basically he starts it off. It comes up to, I think it's a phobia up front, flicks it onto Jed Wallace. He plays it in the midfield and it goes out wide to him on the wing. And then he has the audacity to strike it from about 30 yards and it goes in top bins. I mean, some might say it's a cross. Some might say it's actually spectacular. And I'm definitely in that latter category. What a goal. What a player. Absolute legend. But look, he's not a Mitrovic, right? Do I think he's a Premier League standard player? I personally don't think he's Premier League. I think he's better than Milwall. Yes, I think he's like a probably maybe not a Fulham, but like a West Brom type player. Someone that's going to graft. Maybe for a Scotty Parker. I think at Bournemouth, maybe that might be somewhere he might end up. But he could do a good job in the Premier League. The thing is like you look at someone like Jared Bowen, who came up a couple of years ago, and look what he's doing at West Ham. And he's did
he play for Milwall? Did he?
No, but he came from Hull. He came from the Championship. What I'm trying to say is that
he's a very good player,
and he's doing all right. Okay, there's other Championship clubs are available. Come on, Ollie, seriously.
Yeah, no, I only focus on Millwall, Fulham
exactly.
these days. And sometimes
That's why we love you, and that's why the Serbians love you as well.
Sometimes Luton, and then we're going to have Blackburn on the show next week, in 2 weeks. So
Ben Brereton,
mixing it up, you know what I mean? What do you think of Wallace, John? He's not a striker, but who cares?
I wouldn't like to really pass comment because I'm not that familiar with him. So, but you know, if Ben says he's fantastic, then he must be. So, sorry, if Tom says he's fantastic, he must be.
Thank you. My brother Ben would love that. massive Millwall fan as well.
Yes, I mean, if there's a more football fan in this world than your brother Ben Mercer, I don't know who is. John, it's a shame. I would have thought you did your research on Wallace when I sent you through the questions, but it's okay. He's a great player. He's not a striker though. He is a midfielder, but he is in the top 10 goal scorers. So that's probably where I got that. Okay, so now we're gonna put in another player. Now, I've done some research on him. I've seen him play, and he's pretty decent. This guy. So his name is Brereton. He plays for Blackburn. He's the joint. Is he second? I think he's second or joint.
I think he's joint second.
Yeah, joint second with 10 goals. Have you seen much of him this season, John Atwell?
Well, from what I've seen, I've been really impressed with him. And also, like, obviously, no sort of disrespect to Blackburn as well. It's to do what he's sort of done in that side is it's pretty impressive. So I think I was sort of tipping Blackburn to be an outside chance for the playoffs this season. It's largely off the back of his goals and sort of start he's made. So,
do you remember him last season? How well did he do last season?
No, this is really the first time he's sort of come on my radar. Really, probably because he started scoring.
Also, do you know?
Also, he was in the Prem last season as well, so I wasn't bothered. So
he was in the Prem. Was he?
No, we were.
Oh, you were. Yeah,
I was preoccupied.
You weren't looking past that bog. You were in the green.
I probably should have been looking down, but
you in the green fields of the pastures, loving life. What I like about this player is he plays for Chile now. He actually changed his name to give himself a double barrel name with Diaz on the end.
Yeah, I mean, where's Diaz on your?
Is it Diaz?
Yeah,
no. I only read this.
Diaz.
Yeah.
Come on.
Because
what about our Chilean listeners are fuming right now.
They are. I mean, we have pissed off Chile and Serbia already.
Going on Santiago
let's just make it.
Let's see how many countries we can offend, Ollie.
Yeah.
All publicity is good publicity.
But you know, he's from Stoke-on-Trent, and he plays for Chile.
I didn't know that was in Chile.
There is a Stoke-on-Trent wherever you go. It's always like twins with Chile. I don't know a town in Chile, but I'm sure there is one twinned with Stoke-on-Trent. Tom Mercer, how have you seen much of him this season?
I actually was there. I went to Milwall Blackburn, and he scored against us.
What was the score?
It was 1-1. 1-1. So we should have won that game actually. But
was it a good goal he scored against you?
Header. It was a free kick header. It was good header. Like he's so Armstrong that's gone to Southampton. He was a bit in his shadow before. So Armstrong used to banging, well, not banging goals, but not Mitrovic goals, but would get a good 15 goals a season.
You haven't got to qualify everything by saying they're not Mitrovic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. I think, but Mitrovic is the bar in Championship level. He's the bar. I think he's the best Championship striker that I've ever consistently the best Championship striker. But he's the bar for me.
Better than Lee Hendry.
Better than Lee Hendry. 100%. Adam Armstrong, who's gone Southampton, I think he scored 1 goal this season for Southampton. He played for Blackburn last season, and he used to be him and Bradley Dack, and they've got good going forward. They're a good team, Blackburn. So he's a good striker. He's a good striker. But do I think that Blackburn are going to playoffs? I don't think so.
That's one we.
And the thing is, Bradley Dack is literally one of my favourite playmakers because he's got fantastically fit misses, but. Apart from that,
now we're upsetting Dak as well for saying how fit his missus is. Hang on a second, I'm just going to search something on my phone. Bradley Dak's missus. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
He's a good player. Bradley Dack, good player. I like Brereton Diaz. Good players, mate. I still don't think that Blackburn are going to make the playoffs this year, though.
Don't think you heard it.
Dinosaur manager.
Who's their manager?
Tony Mulgrew.
Never heard of him.
But he's done well for them. He's steadied the ship, hasn't he? And you know, they were in a bit of trouble not long ago. I think since he's come on board.
The Venky's. The Venky's still the owner. The chicken farm.
Venky's still involved. Yeah.
That was brilliant.
I mean, my Google engine is going crazy today with. Oh, I know Tony Mowbray.
Tony Mowbray. Was it West Bromwich?
There's Bradley Dack as well. Well, Google's a great thing, isn't it? It just brings them up. Oh, okay. And there you have it. Blackburn not making the playoffs. Or we can ask our Blackburn fan on the next pod what he thinks of that. And I guess we'll see how they're doing. But Blackburn, where are they? Blackburn at the moment?
Are they just outside the playoffs at the moment?
Google going crazy again.
Honestly, Ollie, there's about 15 teams that probably will get in the playoffs. But, you know, you have to condense that a little bit.
Yes, you have to condense it down.
Well, no, they're down to 12. But like you say, there's literally they're in 12th with 20 points, and Luton in 5th with 21. So,
oh, well, we're going to talk about Luton later.
Lazy.
Millwall just
so, still in the hunt. All right, on to the next talking point. Mick McCarthy sacked again. So when I did my research, and I think that's what's great about this show, is it making me do research, because I literally don't know anything about the Championship. I didn't know he was
Championship. Mick McCarthy he's just a stalwart of English.
He's a Millwall legend, player manager.
He is a Millwall legend, mate. Yeah, 100%.
And that's where he started his career as a manager.
When he started his managerial career, yes. And that's how we got the Ireland job. And I actually thought, growing up, he was Irish. And I thought literally Irish people sounded like they were from Yorkshire.
Sounds a bit Irish, doesn't he? Well, like name does, not his voice doesn't sound very Irish.
Come down to Dublin and come fight us in Dublin.
I was actually going to say who could do a Mick McCarthy impression, and Tom, I was expecting a better one than that.
Sorry.
You know, they come down to our stadium.
What's his famous quote that he got caught on TV saying? Was it Bassinger? Something like that.
Now that's good. That's good. That's good. Give us another one. Come on, John. Give us another Mick McCarthy quote.
That's all I've got. I'm just
make something up. Say something else. Like, I didn't think they were going to come out here to come out here like this. Well, we did all right in the end. We did all right in the end, but I think when it comes down to it, we're going to have to look to the next game. That's not bad. I thought it was
quite good. You rambled there for about 5 minutes.
So how the hell did he get? This is so bad. This is the best one I've done because I'm laughing so much. So how the hell did he get the Republic of Ireland job on the back of being at Milwall?
Good question, mate. Good question.
What did they see?
Stick to it, mate. Ireland did really well with McCarthy. He's an Ireland legend.
Well, he did struggle against Iran in their.
The first time round, I remember.
Yeah, Iran.
I remember they beat. Is it Saudi Arabia?
They struggled against Iran. To get into, I'll just keep saying Iran.
And I ran so far. Oh no, sorry, different song.
But hey, look, they did beat Iran, even though they struggled, and they did get to.
We're talking about the 2002 their World Cup journey when on the eve of the World Cup, Roy Keane thought, I'm an absolute traitor, and thought I'm going to leave my country. Before the biggest tournament of my life. And they still went and got to the quarterfinals and lost on penalties, wasn't it? Dodgy penalties. Was it, who did they lose to? Was it South Korea or something? Japan? I can't remember exactly. I didn't do this research, but I'm getting on my Mick McCarthy. This is my ground. I'm standing here right now. He got them firing in the 2002 World Cup. He got Milwall on the start of something from, I think we're old Division 2 at the time. Would have been, Division 2 at the time, and got us going. But anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Are you basically saying that he's gonna get the United job?
I'm pretty sure.
Is that where you're going with it?
I'm pretty sure. But that absolute passenger quote. He'll get the Man United squad going 100%.
So this is what I love about Mick and looking at his managerial career.
What do you love? What do you love about Mick? I really want to know. What you love
because he seems to get good jobs off the back of managing some real crappers. Applewell, obviously, he got sacked from Applewell, and then Cardiff thought, well, if he can't manage Applewell, who are, I'm just searching here, where are they from? Ipswich, yeah, the Republic of Ireland. Oh, they joined the Cypriot First Division. So he was sacked after a run of 2 wins and 1 draw and 5 defeats in 8 games. Then Cardiff thought, well, we'll give him a go. Like, he's good stock. And now he's been sacked by Cardiff after I believe an 8-game.
I think if you lose 8 games in a row, you kind of, whoever you are, you're going to be in danger. And I wouldn't say Mick McCarthy's kind of reputation at the moment is necessarily the best in the first place. So.
He'll be a director of football. In about 6 months' time.
I would say Mick McCarthy, in my opinion, has to be one of the worst managers ever to manage anyone.
I've got a lot of respect for Mick because he with Ipswich, he kept Ipswich in the Championship for a few years, and they would pissing and moaning about him for so long. And the year they got rid of him, they went down, and they've been nowhere. So it's kind of like. He is of that era, which I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. It's perhaps not as relevant as it was, but the ironic thing was he was beaten by Neil Warnock, wasn't he, at the weekend, which is basically another one of those types of managers.
Dinosaurs. But he has evolved slightly. I think, and I completely agree. I think that literally he is that person in a generation where I think like they were the big kind of the motivators. They're the ones that didn't really know they're tactically inept, I think, personally. And I think they're one of these individuals that could get people going, but when they get actually outsmarted, they're just completely found out. And when you haven't got the confidence, a massive thing in football is obviously confidence, right? And when you haven't got the confidence and you haven't got the tactics, what is the point? Like, you literally have got no kind of direction. I think that's where Mick McCarthy went wrong, because he went on a run first.
That's why you've got the likes of is there a place for that sort of manager in football anymore? I don't
think so.
And that's why the likes of Mick McCarthy and Neil Warnock are now plying their trade in the Championship and below, rather than the Premiership as they were, 10, 15, 20 years ago. So arguably, I don't know, discuss.
Well, yeah. Mick McCarthy, if you're watching the show now in Serbia, please, we'd love to have you on. We are Chile, yeah. We'd love to have you on. We love to discuss your shortcomings as a manager, because of course we're all
longevity. Look at his career, longevity.
I don't know why I got sacked from Cardiff. Okay, the 8 games we were pretty much there, but it just didn't work out.
To be fair, another one of his quotes, Mick McCarthy's
here we quotes. Go. You got to do it in the accent though.
I'm going to try. When we came down in 2013-14, we come down and thought, we've been in the Prem for 13 seasons. This Championship last can, be dead easy. We'll bounce straight back up again. How hard can it be? First game of the season, we played Ipswich, at Portman Road, and we lost 4-1. And the first thing he said in the interview at the end was, "Welcome to Championship."
Championship, son.
He got results. He used to get results, but maybe not so much anymore.
He was good in an interview, though. He was always worth it, Welcome to Championship, son.
Ollie, you've just got this pedestal of just football, right? Mick McCarthy, good. He's been a good servant, right? And I think
I mean, when I read McCarthy joined Cypriot First Division club APL as a manager on second. He signed a contract until 2022, and he was sacked by the club on 5th of January 21 after a run of 2 wins, 1 draw, and 8 games, 5 defeats, 8 games in charge. He's useless. Come on. I don't even know where the Cypriot First Division is. Is it in Serbia?
Yeah, we'll leave that one there, to be fair, mate.
Right. Just so you know, the Cypriot 6-1 football show is going to come to your screen.
I'm actually a massive Applewell fan, mate.
we won't know anything about it, but it will be entertaining. Okay, that's enough about Mick McCarthy. Good luck, mate. Mick, if you're watching, you want to come on the show, we'd love to have to have you on. Okay, so I'll put this one in here because Ollie was like messaging me going, no, we're going up. We're going up. So I guess the question is, can Luton really get promoted? John Atwell.
Short answer, no. Long answer, no, I don't think so. But no. I think they could be in the mix, and they might even be able to squeak, getting in the playoffs. But I think there's probably 3 or 4 other teams sort of above them in the pecking order that would probably sort of see them out. Certainly over 2 games if they were to get into the playoffs. But they could be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. They're certainly playing well now. So
you've got to give them credit though. Like you've got to give Luton credit for where they were. And obviously, I've sat in a bar with Ollie Yates and listened to the whole backstory. Like I got the whole thing. So I was like, bloody hell, you really did go through some shit. You know what I mean? Like with my Premier League glasses on. And to be 5th, right, after maybe 2 seasons ago, they were...
Well, they were in the conference not long ago.
Yeah. They sold the club, and the guy who bought we need Yates on to tell a story because he gets very passionate about it. But the guy who basically bought it over a game of cards, apparently. Like, it was like, yeah, I'll take you. Like, our next round wins, you can take Luton Football Club. And he won it. And then he just literally ruined the whole thing.
So, yeah, where they are now is fantastic. And like I say, they've got off to a good start. So, you never know. You never know. And that's the beauty of the Championship as well, So.
Anyone can get promoted.
Just
not Cardiff.
No, could do.
What?
You never know, mate. You never know, mate. Mick McCarthy could go back to Cardiff.
Mick McCarthy's next job. Tom, what did you think? Obviously, they schooled you a few weeks back.
No, the thing is, I actually have, and not probably Millwall fans don't have respect. I'm not here about the, old rivalries, whatever. But I've got a lot of respect for Luton because there's a lot of similarities between Millwall and Luton. Be it Millwall are probably in a way more advanced stage than Luton, but there's a lot of similarities.
Even though Luton are above you in the table.
I mean, on goal difference.
On goal difference.
But no, what I would say is again, I agree completely. I think they're in this kind of pack at the minute where it's going to filter out. I generally think that Millwall are going to finish above Luton, right? Whether we're in the playoffs or not, I reckon we are probably in that we're higher above them in terms of where our squad will end up. They literally need 1 or 2 injuries and they're going. That Adebayo that plays up for them, he's banging in goals, and we've got the couple. Is it Cormick? They're playing above themselves at the minute, and that's credit to Nathan Jones. And I think I think that is exactly. I don't think they will. But could they? Yeah, they look at Barnsley a couple of years ago. They finished 6th. They finished 6th. What was it? Last season? The season before? And like you think anything can? It literally is. So yes, they could, but do I think they are? No. It's bottom line.
Okay, moving on.
And this is playoffs, not promoted. I honestly think that.
Okay, maybe I should have rephrased it. Get to the playoffs.
Yeah, mate. It's a learning curve for all of us.
Well, mainly me. Even when I did do my research. Thank you, Anthony. Big up, lads. R.I.P. Walter Smith, ex-Rangers and Everton manager. Now, he was a good manager. He was one I remember from being a kid. So sad news about Walter
Did
Smith.
you hear this thing I read earlier? Did you hear about this thing that Darren Fletcher said? I literally read it on like Lab Bible or something this morning, but it was basically saying that he did training once at Man United. He was running training at Man United, and they basically said it's when Ronaldo was, fresh Ronaldo, 03, 04 Ronaldo was there with Cristiano, and basically said, right, what we're doing a drill where you have to pass the ball, but if you take more than 3 touches on the ball, you can foul. Fouls are open. You can do whatever you want. Blase fouls, whatever. And literally, after 2 weeks of training, a week or whatever training, Ronaldo started passing the ball after 2 touches because he's like, I can't be fucked to get fouled anymore. And basically, it was Darren Fletcher was saying that Walter Smith basically made Cristiano Ronaldo the player that he is today. So that is true. Respect. Do you know what?
That is a big.
It is. Darren Fletcher said it.
Yeah, if they did that at Arsenal, everyone would be in wheelchairs. It would literally be like that. But no, I dig that. I dig it. But surely Ronaldo always plays with only 2 touches anyway. But no, legend.
Did you watch him? In his first 2 years at United? He was doing just about 15 step overs, literally.
Mate, all I remember of him just absolutely ruining us every game. But that's the Premiership. We're not talking about the Premiership today. We don't care about the Premiership. All these overpaid, 12-touch wankers. Screw them. We're all about the Premiership. It's one-touch, tick-a-tack football. Okay, so on to our next topic of discussion. Unbeaten Cherries. The Cherries are Bournemouth, by the way, in case you didn't know. Can they go the whole season unbeaten? Has anyone in the Championship gone unbeaten, first of all? I don't think they have.
Not that I'm aware of.
Never.
We had was it the season we went up, not last time before, we had a 23-game unbeaten run to get to squeak in the playoffs. Actually, more than squeak in the playoffs. Then we lost the last game of the season against Cardiff.
That's when you beat Milwall on that, right? Three games before the end. That's where you beat Milwall. I cried. So thanks for reminding me about that. We scored a disallowed goal. We should have gone 1-0 up, and we were undefeated ourselves. We sat in 6th place that day.
Wow.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that one, mate.
So do you think, I guess the question is, how, obviously Arsenal went unbeaten in the Premier League. Is it harder?
Championship podcast, YouTube channel.
But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is it harder to go unbeaten in the Championship?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, because we're a Championship side at the moment, yeah.
Yes.
Because is it because of the unpredictability?
I think it is the old adage. It is the case of anyone can beat anyone, and we sort of do see that week in, week out. So if they manage it, that best Championship side ever. Obviously.
Will you turn around and say fair play, Scott Parker? We never should have got rid of him. We never should have left.
Yeah, well, he's left a bit of a sour taste in a lot of Fulham fans' mouths. The way he left,
How did he leave, by the way? So I'm unfamiliar with this.
We obviously got relegated. Basically, the chairman Khan, supported him and said, he kind of believed in it long-term project, and then Parker's was his head was turned by Bournemouth, possibly when we were still in the Prem, and so he kind of left off his own back, which was a bit of a funny one. And then he got a very curt message from Khan, sort of in the program notes about it. So it kind of it peed off a lot of Fulham fans, I think, because he didn't particularly. He didn't really he wasn't really like putting up trees for us. I mean, I'm not sure anyone else would have necessarily kept us up, but I was kind of, I wasn't bothered either way if he stayed or he went. I didn't have a sort of strong opinion, but a lot of Fulham fans were very pleased that he went.
Pleased? He did all right. I mean, remember when he cried? He cried at the end. I mean, that was amazing.
I don't know. He kind of fashioned. It was known as Parker ball, so he's very good at kind of setting his stall out and passing backwards and sideways, and playing for perhaps draws when you should be going for wins. And to be fair, I think that's where he's kind of been quite successful at Bournemouth so far this season, because they haven't been spectacular, but they haven't lost any games, obviously. They've got a few draws, but they've managed to grind out results. Whether they'll keep it going or not, I don't know. I genuinely think he'll get found out, and I think they're going to. I don't think they can't go through the season unbeaten. They've still got to play West Brom away, and they've got to play us away. So exactly, and Millwall as well. So there's 3 games they're going to lose straight off the bat. So
Tom, what do you think of Bournemouth this season? And do you think I
am impressed. Right, you've got to look at everything that's kind of falling around. So before the beginning of the season, I would have said Fulham, West Brom, easy. They're my 2 teams, hands down. You look at the squads, you look at the players they've got, you look at the manager for West Brom in particular. I thought those are the 2 teams. I think I'm really impressed, and I think players like Solanke, like you mentioned, top goal scorer. Solanke's a good player. I always rated him when he was at Liverpool, went to Bournemouth, and it didn't really work out. I don't think he's one of the players that probably isn't maybe a Premier League player, and he hasn't had the opportunity at that level, right? So I think that with Bournemouth at the minute, he's got goals, he's playing. But I think I generally think I don't think they're going to go unbeaten. I think that's if they did it, that would be completely amazing. If they did that, and I don't think they will. But do I think they're going to go up? I generally think they're going to go up. And
I think the test will be as well when they do have their wobble, because it happens to every team at some point in the season. We've kind of had ours, hopefully, but it's how they react to it. And if they do end up losing the game, what happens after that? So we'll see.
I think like one of the things I was going to bring up, and I probably should have mentioned it earlier beforehand, but I was just saying your wobble started with Blackpool's and like surgents going up. And I've been super impressed with Blackpool. Like the way that I generally, before the season, they were like easy going to go down, and then when they beat you, that's literally been like their start.
Catalyst.
Now they're level 6th, Ollie. They're level 6th. The Championship, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
It's what the Serbians want. They love it.
Tell us what the Serbians want. That's all we care about. Beatles talk about Blackpool Lights. What is that? Of course, that's Jack White in the video for Jolene live at Blackpool. If you didn't know,
I'm glad you told us that.
Check it out. Blackpool Lights. What is that?
Instead of doing that next time, do you want to research some Championship games?
I did do some research. Did you not hear my great research on Mick McCarthy? Okay. All right. So a few more talking points here. Derby. Looks like they're going to be bought out from administration. I guess I brought this one up because it's like, why would anyone want to buy them out right now? Because,
Well, it's if you look at it one way, it's an ideal time to buy something when they're at their lowest ebb. So, it kind of, Ipswich got bought up, didn't they? Was it recently, sort of similar sort of thing? So they're obviously looking long term. I think it's good for Derby fans, obviously.
It's good for the Championship as well. Derby are a massive club. They're massive. Like they are a massive club. And in the Championship, terms.
Do you think they could still stay up?
I think they will stay up. I've said that last time. I'm gonna double down on that. I think they'll stay up.
Tom, do you think they'll stay up?
Do you know what? Since last, I've changed about 7 things since the last time I did this podcast, which was 3 games ago. And I'll probably the next time this podcast, like this YouTube in 3 or 4 games, I'll probably say something completely different. It's a Championship, anything can happen. But basically, I would say that. But they've only lost. I think they've lost 1 game since they've gone into administration. Derby have lost 1 game, and that is literally credit. And I thought Wayne Rooney was just a bit of a whatever. I thought it was literally just because he's a big footballer, quality footballer is that he was going to be, but he's managed to galvanise the squad for whatever reason, and they've been running on loads of youngsters and like loads of old boys that literally comes to the end of their career, and for some reason he's managed to literally pick up points. And do you know what? Respect, massive respect to Derby, because a lot of teams will literally just say that, this is it, we're going to fall down. So credit to them. It depends. It depends on their deduction. What's going to be another 10 points? Is it?
Oh, so the deduction.
Hang on. Are they get another deduction?
Well, no, because if they enter, you get 1, then you might get another 1.
How many points?
No. So the buyer goes through, they're fine, right? But if they enter administration, they get another 10 down. They are 12, is it?
So they've already had 12 points deducted.
No, they might get another one. They might get another one for final.
They've had 10 deductions, haven't they, so far?
They might get another one. So one's for financial fair play, the other one's for administration. So I don't know which one they've had already. They've had one, but they'll get the other. So it depends if they, so there's an element.
Well, I reserve the right to change my mind if they do get another deduction.
So there might be another one, basically. And John, to be fair, I'm here to back that decision.
We're here to flip flop.
I think it is. I think it's 12. It's 12. They've drawn 8 and they've won 3.
So they're only 6 points off Cardiff. So still early doors, isn't it? I think it's doable.
Would you say Cardiff in trouble?
Would I say Cardiff in trouble? Well, will they get the new manager back? So they can't possibly lose. Have they lost 8 on the trot?
Big Stevie Morrison. They can't
lose 9.
Is in charge now, mate. So don't worry.
Oh, is he? Is he permanent, or is he sort of?
He was no. He's under 23 coach. He went with Neil Harris.
He stepped up.
Yeah, at Cardiff. Yeah. So he. But if I back someone, I like a bit of Stevie Morrison.
Well, if you get some players on board,
The thing is, he's very similar to a Neil Warnock in the set. A Mick McCarthy. Get the board.
He's in the same mould as he.
Tactically inept, probably.
Do the quote again, John, please, in McCarthy.
Bussinger.
It just gets better every time. I love it. Cool. So Derby staying up out of administration. Happy days.
Without any more point deductions.
Yes.
We'll qualify it.
So, just all the people watching now in Serbia and Chile, especially because we've got a big fan base there. If they get deducted, I don't want any, things going crazy on Twitter and stuff like that. We don't dig that. So I've just slotted this one at the end because you boys are here. So this weekend's fixtures, we'll start with you, John. Fulham West Brom, big game.
Yeah, huge game.
What are you thinking?
Massive.
We're at home, so I'm gonna go with a win. We have to. It's kind of. I wouldn't say it's not going to make or break our season because it's daft to say that this early. But if we win, then we've got 4 points between us and West Brom. You think we might be able to sort of really start building on it and cementing our position. But it's exciting, definitely. I'm looking forward to it.
Good stuff. Well, I hope you do win.
You have to be watching that game as well. Come on, Ollie.
Well, I did turn on the Fulham versus QPR game, and I watched it.
So if you're gonna pick one championship game to watch, Ollie, all the way through, if you're dedicated to your art,
the problem I've got with that game is that Arsenal are playing Leicester at the same time.
Yeah,
so
have you heard of the red button and you can record things? So basically, during the 3 o'clock kickoff, you can watch Championship football.
I mean, but then I want to keep an eye on. No, yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it.
There you go. Record the Fulham game. Watch it afterwards.
I'll be at my friend's house who has the recording function. We'll record it and we'll watch it.
That's going to be a good game.
It should be, yeah.
Huddersfield versus Millwall, 3 o'clock. What are you thinking, Tom Mercer?
Huddersfield, they're on a bit of form at the minute, I think. I'll be happy with a point. If we can get a point away, I'll be happy. But we're going to go for the win. And do you know what? Scrap the point. It's going to be 3 points Millwall. It's going to be 5 wins out of 6 games.
That's the spirit.
Forget about that. We're going to be 5th by the end of Saturday.
That's the spirit. And are they still managed by those brothers? They still managed by them. The brothers.
What the old
Crowley brothers?
They left, didn't they?
They're at is it like Ipswich or something? No,
is it Plymouth? Is it or something?
No, it's not. The Cowley
they've dropped down a league, haven't they?
I've always thought.
Hang on a minute.
If me and my brother took over a cinema, so to speak, it would be a pretty bad decision.
There you go, Portsmouth.
That's it, Portsmouth.
Yeah. I knew it was on the south coast.
Penny jacket.
If I was going to bet it, I would bet Millwall to win. I mean,
when we played Huddersfield, they looked pretty duff. I'd be backing.
They're on a little bit of a run though. They're picking up points and picking up. So I'll be happy. Look, if we lost, I'll be disappointed. Obviously, if we drew, not that. you know, but if we win when we should win, it's, you know, we should win.
Right.
Basically, we're going to get
again. It is the championship, and what can happen?
Don't worry about it.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. I hate that woman as well.
Can you make that the intro? Can you make that the intro?
No,
that intro.
no way.
It.
No
that should
way.
be it.
No way. No
Anything happen.
She's got enough money as it is. They're coming on to my show with all the with all the billions of views that we're getting right now. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Anything can happen. I would just like to thank you very much for a great show. Thoroughly enjoyed having you both on. I've laughed a lot. I've learnt a lot. I've Googled a lot. And
you've annoyed a lot of countries around the world, but that was fun.
Sorry, Serbia. Sorry, Chile. You have got some great players. We'll see you again in 2 weeks, boys. Yeah.
So sincere.
we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Got a lot of good players.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on.
Get Badge on as well. Get that
Badge is coming on. He's not a metaphorical badger. It's a real person.
Get the Swansea fan on. Get your main man Ollie back on.
Yeah, we'll have fives up, and then it will really get a bit feisty. Thank you very much, gents. Have a lovely evening. This has been the 6-1 Championship show, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Sayonara.
See you later.